Off top from the wild card weekend, which team had the highest success rate running the ball and which team had the lowest success rate running the ball? Play music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. The trivia question is got Mina to smile, which is always the goal. Mina Kimes is here. Charlie Kravitz is here. It was either that or out of 56 offensive snaps for the Steelers, how many of those plays were qualified as successful? That was the other question I had, but I told Charlie the answer to that one.
I think I'm going to know the answer to both of these, but I'll let Mina guess first. And I won't lie. I will tell you if I had the same guesses as Mina.
Okay.
Okay, highest success rate, I'm guessing, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that right?
That was my guess.
Oh, you want to get them both out, or you want me to answer to that one?
No. Okay, and then sorry. Lowest success rate. I'm sorry, I was just thinking through all the games. I know the Bills had a 33% success rate, but that was just
he gave you the other answer, Mina.
Did I?
I assume. The Steelers?
I'm not telling it. Well, the first answer is anyway, go ahead. Charlie, do you want to hazard a guess?
I'm guessing the Steelers for the lowest success rate and Jaguars for highest.
Okay. Mina, you're same?
You running the ball, just running, right?
Yeah.
Yep, just success rate on the ground.
I think
Well, number one, just so you guys know this, is the Rams. So you're both wrong about the Jaguars. The Rams were 62.1%. The Jags were 56.5%. Just behind them. So, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, you're counting Trevor Lawrence.
I am. Yeah, of course. I'm counting Trevor
Okay.
Lawrence.
No. Just because the Jags running backs were over 70%, but I guess
you were
Lawrence...
Facial Tootin was
I guess that's
14
fair.
yards a pop.
I should have taken scrambles out. All right, I'll let you guys off the hook with that one.
You don't have to run game. Shouldn't encompass the quarterback. I got to account for that.
If I go, yeah.
Is it the Packers?
Had the worst? No.
Steelers?
It is the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. That's good.
Yeah,
That's tricky.
I thought that was a shot.
We went 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I controlled for design runs, and the Rams are still number one. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe I messed up some sort of filter, but I do know that I was right.
That makes sense.
Blake Corum was looking nicey.
Come on. The other thing that
13 personnel.
The other question that I was going to ask, Charlie already knows the answer to that one, was of the 56 plays, are you double checking me to make sure I didn't get it wrong?
No.
Of the 56 plays that the Steelers had on offense, only 15 of them qualified as successful plays. That was amazing. And one of them,
that way.
Aaron Rodgers had already given up and left the game at that point, so they completed one pass that did not involve Aaron Rodgers, which gave them a success rate.
Before we get into this, do you think that the Steelers, or do you think Rodgers wishes he hadn't made the playoffs and he had gone out having played pretty well in the Ravens game but lost on a kick at the end?
Oh, I didn't even consider that. No.
I don't think that's true because he's very competitive, but I do remember, like, after they won, I remember feeling like he didn't look thrilled because knowing that they had played the Titans. Like, he did seem like very, like, ooh, like bittersweet about it all. Like, Rodgers is not stupid. He knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It does feel like the Mike Tomlin chest pound kiss blow felt like he knew. That was his Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Congratulations on winning your final game against the Ravens. And then the playoffs, that was like a bowl game for them. It was just a bowl game. It didn't matter. Congratulations.
Pop-Tart Bowl?
Yeah. They went to the Pop-Tart Bowl afterwards. They had a good time. They got some sweatshirts.
He cried. Do you see he cried about Tomlin being fired?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, such a loving guy. He is.
Yeah.
He's a passionate fellow. All right. Let's talk about the games that matter.
Yeah, this is awesome. Is divisional round my favorite playoff weekend of the year, above Super Wild Card weekend.
That was a great wild card.
It was incredible.
Weekend. I remember asking you guys last week, which I felt like was a dumb question at the time, but asking you guys last week, which of the two weekends are your favorite? Mm-hmm. And then I was kind of vindicated in the dumb question because last week it was kind of great. So hopefully this weekend lives up to it. But yeah, that was really, I mean, obviously the last two games were a mess, but that was a fun wild card weekend.
It was
Super
incredible.
Wild card weekend.
It was incredible. I mean, there was up until that last game, it was every single team that was down after the 2-minute warning won, which is crazy. So we're going to do the same way as last week, chronological order. We're going to go through the first three games with you, Mina. And so we're going to start with Buffalo at Denver. And this is the Herculean or maybe Sisyphusian task of Josh Allen pushing the boulder up a hill against increasingly difficult opponents as he goes on the road in Denver with a knee injury, a foot injury, a head injury, a hand injury, against an elite Denver defense and a quarterback that we have. He's a good player, but we have questions about how he matches up with the rest of that team in Bo Nix. And I'm going to ask you guys, we can take the discussion wherever you want, but this is my hacky sports talk question for you guys on this one. Which quarterback is more important for their team's chance to win this weekend, Josh Allen or Bo Nix?
Yeah, it's a well-phrased question. I think the answer to me is obviously Bo Nix, I think, which I guess you can interpret this question any way you want, but it's a good jumping off point because I think I was surprised when, like, breaking down this game that I was less worried about Josh Allen going up against this Broncos defense than I thought I would be. Even all things considered with the injuries to the receivers, I actually feel like this feels like a less challenging opponent than the Jaguars were. Of course, I could need to guard against like falling asleep on the 1 seed just because they set out a week, but it feels like the difference in this game is going to be whether Bo Nix. It feels like it's the answer to a lot of the Bo Nix games. It's like, is he going to hit the open receivers downfield? Because I also believe that Sean Payton, with extra time to prepare, is probably going to scheme up some pretty impressive opportunities for Bo Nix down the field. So I think the answer is obviously Bo Nix to me.
I don't know. I'm kind of on Josh Allen here, just given what will be required of him. I do think, Domonique, and I agree with you about the Broncos defense, and Bill and I kind of got into it previewing this game on my pod. They've really started to sprout some cracks in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
That kind of, you see the difference between them and like the Seahawks Texans, I think. So it's not like as daunting a challenge as it is facing the Seahawks and the Texans, who we're going to get to. But I also think, because of the lack of pass catchers, even if they're able to run the ball effectively on them, and they're going to try, Josh Allen's going to have to make some crazy plays in this for them to move the ball. Whereas on the other side, when I started prepping for this, I came away from it higher on the Broncos running game than I thought I'd be.
Dominic too.
I do think they're going to be able to run the ball in Buffalo, and I think Sean Payton, unlike Liam Cohen, will stick with it.
By the way, if you can't run the ball in Buffalo, you shouldn't be around this weekend.
They're a better running team than I think the numbers suggest when I watch them. And one of the things that in preparing this game, watching the last game against the Jaguars, one of the things that I thought happened quite a bit was they canned a lot of plays. Like, that's the reason why it felt like they stopped running, is because at the line of scrimmage, Trevor Lawrence decided that they were getting a heavy box, which is like, yeah, but they still ran the ball well against heavy boxes. It's like, so we're hard on Liam Cohen, but like if you go into a scheme, I guess that's you shouldn't put in the 2 plays. It's like, look, man. And the thing about their cans with the Jaguars was they also, like, he went to can and then got from under center to go to shotgun. It just felt like, I don't know, we can't relive that game. It just felt like an obvious mistake that the Broncos, I highly doubt, will make. Back to the game that we're talking about right now. I think what I would anticipate, a way that I see this game going that could change things, is because of the obvious advantage where the Broncos have, and I know Riley Moss gets a hard time, but I defend him every week on this show because, like, I watch him play. The man's good. But I think the advantage that they have is in that the cornerback versus receivers, obviously. And I just had the crazy thought that if they decided to come out here, you remember how teams used to defend Lamar under Greg Roman? Like, just no free safety. You get up in the box and take care of that running attack and, like, challenge them to attack down the field. Of course, you open yourself up to some job. And maybe they won't do it because of the risk, but it's like, we made the point, Mina, before, which the Bills proved us wrong, where if the Bills can't run the ball, they can't win. They didn't run the ball super well against the Jags and still won. If I'm the Broncos, I'm daring them again. Like, you can't do it twice.
Well, that's the Josh Allen, why he's probably the answer to this, like Mina said, because
Mina's right.
Well, last week he played, like, essentially a perfect game. Like, it was mistake-free football, even though he didn't have the gaudy passing touchdown numbers. He was 7 incompletions, completed 9 passes to 9 different receivers, and this is like the no-name group, which might get, I don't know. The Bills also might have a couple reinforcements with Curtis Samuel and Ed Oliver. I know their practice window is open, whether or not they play, how effective they'll be, but like, this could be a factor for them.
Probably. I mean, but I know your hacky sports media question was just to get us to get into the conversation, but I'm surprised that you guys both are obviously like, I guess
it's just Josh Allen is the team.
But I know
it's football. It's not basketball.
My point is, like, given Josh Allen's track record and given that we all appreciate that the Broncos defense is not quite what it was, like, the question mark to me is the game going to be close at the end? If the game's close at the end, I think we all lean Josh Allen. The only way the game is not close at the end is if Bo Nix executes early on.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, we got to see Bo through the first 3. And I mean, not that Bo Nix can't come back. He's done it a ton of times. But Josh Allen, given his playoff history, like, I think we all know pretty much what we're going to get out of him. But if they're going to get any other support from that rushing attack. But I don't know. And are they good there? The Broncos defense, they're a heavy man team, which maybe that'll change. But I know the Texans struggle, if you can say they struggle at all, against like
quarterback scrambles. The Broncos are good. I looked it up. The Bills are not, by the way. And that's one thing where I think Bo Nix's legs are equally important to Josh Allen's. You've seen that the Bills really get punished by teams that use option based run games, particularly in the red zone. So if I'm Sean Payton, I'm keeping it. I'm having Bo Nix keep it a decent amount. But to go back to Josh Allen, like, kind of what he has to do in this game, if the Broncos do what you describe and really, allocate a lot of resources to stopping the run and play a lot of man coverage, he's going to have to, I would say, get like 40 rushing yards minimum, I feel, which of course he's capable of, but he is very banged up after last week. He seems like obviously superhuman when it comes to injuries and his size and all of that, but he took a beating last round. And so that's something I'm going to see early on if the Broncos, because he also takes a decent amount of sacks this year. If the Broncos are able to hit him early, I'm curious to see if that affects him just athletically and his comfort moving around.
And I expect him to probably take a number of hits in this game also, because they're not going to get open fast like that. That's not going to happen. And it's not as if, like, I know the quick game for them was effective last week. I mean, Surtain's and Riley are going to be up in press coverage. Like, the quick game's not going to be as efficient as which they had opportunity against the Jags. So I'm not sure where exactly the answers are. So maybe I'm talking myself into going on the other side of this.
I was going to ask you, what do you do with the corners in this game, knowing that so much of the Bills is quick game, so much of it's to the tight ends, to Khalil Shakir out of the slot, like. It's sort of neutralizing some of the massive values.
But no, I don't think it does. I think what it does is it gives you an opportunity to, which is why I started with talking about like the Lamar, Greg Roman style of defense. Like, I am ignoring the receivers. And I know that, like, Josh Allen's accurate and receivers can get open. Like, I don't know. If I have a free safety, you go help out on the tight end. Or get in the box and help out on the run. Like, I would just honestly dare them to go test the matchup that I like the most. It's like, please, you think that you're going to beat us by going against one-on-one all the way down the field with backup receivers in a position that you haven't really had trust in. It's like Coleman versus Surtain. By all means, like, give it a shot.
That's the funny thing about this game, though. It's like Surtain's kind of wasted against this team. I mean, like, you are going to need Brandon Cooks to make like this sort of plays against man coverage you saw last week. You are going to need Dalton Kincaid to separate against whether it's like McMillan or a safety or a linebacker, if they're able to get them to play base and put, I think the Bills will probably lean pretty heavily into their bigger looks. It's I feel like just Josh Allen, the level of difficulty will be high for him, even if the Broncos defense, isn't quite what it seemed at the beginning of the season.
And the Bills, I mean, we didn't talk much about the Bills defense, but like, they are very scheme dependent, like the opposite of the Texans, where the Texans just feel super talented everywhere, so they just play it straight, like no disguises, no tricky blitzes. This Bills team is like, we gonna trick you because we don't feel comfortable just lining up and playing, which is funny because historically that's what they did.
So you brought up how Trevor Lawrence kept checking the plays at the line, canning plays. To me, that was one of the things you look at the tape and that's what popped out, is that they actually had Trevor Lawrence confused as all these man looks that dropped into zone after the snap, and he had no idea how to handle it. I thought that led to both of his interceptions.
And they survived, but it backfired on them too. Is with motions and shifts, they seem confused. Like the Bills defense, because they are doing so many different things, they seemed confused and out of position a couple of times, which I assume, again, maybe I'm giving too much credit to Sean Payton, but he's going to replicate some of those looks and challenge them to communicate and adjust a number of different ways.
I think the one thing I would do want to point out is like we are not always the highest on McDermott as a coach, but I thought at least against the Jaguars was a really impressive defensive scheme when the team is that undermanned.
I'm super high on him. I think he's like the most underrated coach in the league. Yeah. I think year after year, this Bills defense produces way above their talent level, and also they've overcome significant injuries in past years. And you've seen that again. Like there's not many players on this defense that individually you're that worried about. But they find ways. You talk about the coverage disguise, but they also use a lot of creativity up front with the pressures. I think they'll be aggressive blitzing the run. And so I think for Peyton and this Broncos run game, finding ways to punish them for that, I think you'll see a lot of motion, a lot of the fullback. I just think Denver's going to be able to. The Denver run game, like I actually was shocked to see that since week 10, and this is post J.K. Dobbins injury, obviously, they were actually third in success rate. And that's not even counting Bo Nix scrambles. Wow. They're not that explosive, but they're pretty efficient, whether it's RJ Harvey or Jaleel McLaughlin. So you just got to be disciplined.
Like I recognized that they were better than like the numbers told me when I was watching, but I didn't know they had been that good since week 10. That's pretty
quietly.
Impressive.
So I think that's I like their fullback. Prentice is his name. Every time they put him on the field, it feels like good things happen. And Buffalo will play base defense more this year than the last. I still trust this Denver team to be able to run on those looks.
All right. We're going Cronny James?
Yeah, we're going Cronny. So we're on to Mina's game, 49ers and Seahawks. And I think that, we should go through a bunch of the angles of this, but off the jump of it,
I forget that Mina is a super Seahawks fan. Are you now that you've worked in media for so long, does it change? Because I remember watching games with you in the early days, and are you still like that watching the Seahawks, or has it changed?
No, I actually this season have been a lot more like I think partially because they've been so good. But then he asked me that if it's like overtime, and I will say the Seahawks fan stuff. Nobody cared until this year with the MVP debate. I've gotten a lot of, she's a Seahawks fan, that's why she's voting for Drake May. And I'm like, it's not at all. I like Matthew Stafford. Like, I'm not. Also, like the Rams, like they're not even, like Seahawks fans don't really hate the Rams. Like, it's not a thing. So anyways, not that I actually feel that way, but I'm invested. I think this one, I feel like a combination of confidence and the dread that comes with confidence, because just doing the matchup, they should win this game, right? Like the way I think we need to look at this game is like, what would it take for the Niners, who are obviously the biggest underdogs of the weekend, to pull off an upset, especially after we just saw them get stomped by this team in week 18.
So what do you see as the path for that, Mina? If you were to engineer a 49ers path?
So it obviously turning Sam Darnold over is the formula, or forcing a fumble. And Seahawks' offense has turned over. They've had a lot of turnovers in the second half of the season, and because of that, they've really tried to protect Sam Darnold. And you saw that in Week 18. He barely threw the ball downfield. They were able to run the ball on San Francisco with some success. But I would say finding a way to turn him over, stopping the Seattle in the red zone was something they did in Week 18. It's a big part of why the score didn't really reflect how it felt. That and missed field goals, which would be another thing. Offensively, this was a lot harder for me, Domonique. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I went back and I looked at, did anything work for the Niners? Are there any weaknesses on the Seahawks defense to attack? The best thing I could come up with is find ways to attack Eamon in coverage. What do you think the Niners can do on offense?
So the funny thing is, the Niners, and this might sound a little silly, but the Niners are at their best when the picture is clean, because I think they are so scheme dependent. When they get the looks that they want, historically they've been a great play action team, and that like shocked me when I looked at their play action numbers. Like they haven't been a great play action team this year, and they haven't been a great running team this year, which is like when you think of Kyle Shanahan or you think of the Shanahan name in general, you're like, you're gonna run the ball, you're gonna get some play action. This team is not good at either, really, not particularly good at either, which made it hard because that's where I started. Is like, this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I think the way that if I were them, I would try to attack this Seahawks defense is you have to dictate to them, which is easier said than done. I see so often the formations and the personnel groupings that teams use and the alignments that they use are to protect against what the Seahawks do well. I think if they go 5 out and try to spread them out, you could go empty 5 out, but I'd be less concerned about the protection or less concerned about the blitz and more concerned about spreading that defense out and getting individuals in isolation. They cover incredibly well in groups. Like they destroy route combinations. I try to spread them out and pick matchups that you like and put the tight ends and fullbacks on the outside. You try to create these linebacker matchups, especially on third down. They did it a little bit in the last time they played where they mug on third down in order to dictate to you where your protection is going to go so they can create the matchups that they want. And I'd be less concerned about protecting against that mug and more concerned about because they mug and don't blitz. So the mug means they bring the linebacker up to the line of scrimmage and then they don't blitz, or sometimes they will blitz. I'd be less concerned about how we're going to protect if he does blitz and more concerned with how is he going to get out to his coverage responsibility if he doesn't blitz. And you're going to take some losses and be fine with it and move on. Because I think this whole game is going to be every play is going to have like a high shift in win probability, at least my own mental win probability, because it's going to be so hard for either team to score. And it shouldn't be hard for the Seahawks to score, but it seemed hard from last time. So like if there's a turnover, I'd just be playing those odds if I were them.
I don't know though. I know it seemed hard for them to score because it was like the inefficiency in the red zone. The way they were able to move the ball, I feel like that was most likely just small sample. And if that game, I mean, I'm not saying that the coaching it'll be the exact same this time, but in that game, I think if those teams were playing that way, the score's not 13-3, 9 out of 10 times. That felt like an kicking with a smaller gap.
It's like they had that first drive down the red zone, and Sam Darnold, I think he took a sack and then threw like a bad ball, and they had to kick.
You mean
the
Seahawks offense got scared?
Yeah.
They were like the whole game. It was crazy to go on TV next day, and people were like, "Sam Darnold, prove." I'm like, what? Because that whole game plan was around protecting him, and you know, he missed a touchdown. Also, he should have thrown a pick.
Darnold's been bad.
Yeah. So, look, Dominique, you talked about like trying to take advantage of like when the linebackers drop into coverage, and you know, like I think there was this team that had a lot of success doing that against a team that ran a lot of sim pressures. I can't remember which one, but I think like kind of along those lines, you gotta play the variance game a little bit if you're San Francisco. Like sometimes they're gonna come and you're gonna take a sack, and I think you just kind of have to live with that for hoping that when they don't or when they drop that you can be aggressive. I think like the Seahawks corners are very good, but I do think spreading things out is the way to go here. If I'm San Francisco, I just think if they try to do their like 21 personnel passing game, and obviously I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball well, I don't see that working with the same efficacy that it has against other teams.
How many points do the 49ers need to win this game? If they get 20, do they win?
I guess this is hard to say to answer that question, especially coming off of what you said, where it's like, you're right. The Seahawks did move the ball with ease. They struggled in the red zone, and they also like were really conservative. So like, I don't think 20 necessarily gets it done, but it could. I don't know. It's a tough one for me to answer. What do you think, Mina?
I mean, the Seattle really offensively should be better than what we saw the last time these teams played. I think the Seahawks run game improvement is pretty significant, and they ran the ball really well on San Francisco. I don't think the kicker, knock on wood, is going to miss those easy kicks again. So, I would say like a little bit more than that, but we'll see.
So, can I take us into fan fiction mode for a second?
Uh-oh.
So, Mina's screaming at her TV. There's 6 minutes left in the second quarter because first drive, Shanahan has genius script. He somehow schemes open. They march down the field. Purdy throws a touchdown pass. Sam Darnold comes out a little bit shaky. 3 and out. Punt back. Juwan Jennings, double pass, touchdown. It's 14-0. And now the question is like, can Ginger Cuz I
knew you were just building up
melt
to
down? Because is there a world where you see that hypothetical coming where it's like everything is flipped now that he has to play from behind, or will they be like composed in this situation because they know they're considerably better than the 49ers?
I think this is it. That's how they will have to stop the run. They're going to have to stop the run with their offense. So, if you take the run off the table because you get out to a big lead, of course, it'll be much more difficult. Ginger Cuz has the ability to do that against, that's the thing is it never feels like it's over against the 49ers defense, given that they are incredibly injured. And also, because of the injuries, they are also kind of undisciplined and, not very deceptive. It's just hard to build up some confidence that there's any lead that's safe, given how debilitated that defense is right now. I don't know. And I think Sam Darnold is going to have to, I think Mina alluded to this, is I have written down that he's going to have to make a free runner miss. At some point in this game, they're going to blitz. He's going to have to make them miss and make an incredible play off of that. And maybe that's part of your hypothetical, is Sam Darnold making an excellent play that creates a touchdown. But there is no lead that I feel like is safe with the 49ers defense being as broken as they are.
Second mind's eye. You're starting to think that there's a world where you're going to look up if you close your eyes now and you look up and it's February 8th and Sam Darnold, Ginger Cuz, is holding up the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, totally possible.
She didn't even have to close her eyes.
The wild card round is I started to think the same thing, Mina. Yeah. And I before the playoffs I didn't, but it really starting to feel like that's possible. I think they're a big beneficiary from how we viewed the NFC teams in the wild card round.
Yeah. All right.
Last one. Yeah.
Pats. Oh yeah, we'll do the NFC game with Jason Goff because he's a Bears fan. So it's our last game with Mina. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just ask this. Let's go through it the same way. But Texans-Patriots. The Patriots are 3-point home favorites. I think a lot of the football zeitgeist really believes in the Texans in this game because of how the ferocity of that defense. But what do you think is going to decide this game? I think there's a lot of reasons to pick either team.
Yeah. For me, the answer is pretty easy. That it's going to be, can Drake May recreate the deep ball accuracy that he had to have this MVP caliber campaign? As good as the Texas defense is, they are middle of the pack as far as explosive pass plays are concerned. The tough thing is you rarely beat their corners, who are very good, and block their pass rushers, who are very good at the same time. And they're going to have to do it a few times to create big plays, because what's harder than doing that once in a while is sustaining effective drive all the way down the field that doesn't get thrown off by Petrie blitzing the run and throwing you off, or getting sacked, or one of the DBs making a great play. So that's what it's going to come down to. Can they create offense and explosive lightning strikes? Because I don't got them moving down the field on them.
Yeah, I think we saw in the last round, you can't just dink and dunk on the Texans. There's two things you have to do, and to give the Patriots a shot here, those are two things that Drake May has been proven to be able to do really well, one of which is throw the deep ball, which isn't to say they're bad against deep balls, but it's possible. They are worse than they are against short passes. And then Drake May as a runner, scrambler. This has been the case with Texans defense now for 3 years. A lot of it is just the way they play stylistically. They do give up a lot of scramble yards to quarterbacks, and Drake May, it was a mixed performance against LA, but he was running like crazy in that game. He is a dynamic runner, and I think he's going to have to be for them to have success against this team.
I think I'm going to go watch it again, but I was watching a way that the Texans took on Josh Allen, and imagining that would be a similar strategy as far as the third down run quarterback scramble and run game. Yeah, would be, because they completely dominated that game on the defensive side of the ball. They didn't even have C.J. Stroud, and they got that win. That'll be interesting to me. I also think that I was surprised that the Texans' pass rush win rate was not all that good. It's like it's a reminder that it is a combination of their relentless pass rush and their like coverage and scheme on the back end, because they're forcing quarterbacks to hold the ball. And that's the thing. Like, the pass rush is good. You can't hold it for very long. And I guess this is just a question of what qualifies as a pass rush win. And this is where sometimes I think the like motion tracking data or the analytics can throw us off, is because what you'll see is pockets, even when they don't get a clean win, pockets collapse around the quarterback. And I'm not sure if that's qualified as a pass rush win, but it ain't comfortable. You see sacks created where no one got a clear win. The pocket just squeezed on someone, and then they try to flush out and they jump on them. So I don't know. We'll see how that works, because Drake May has been excellent in that situation as far as managing a closing pocket and having the arm strength and confidence, frankly, to rip important passes from like tight situations.
On the flip side, the Nico Collins injury concerns me a lot, especially if Gonzalez plays and he doesn't. I start thinking like, ooh, you know, like you're really leaning on your rookies, Higgins and Noel. I mean, Christian Kirk having a breakout last round is important, because I would say slot is where you want to attack for the Patriots defense, the pass defense. The run thing is funny, because the Patriots run defense was terrible all year, but then they were great in the wild card round. The Texans rushing attack was terrible all year, but they ran the ball really well in the wild card round. So I think this is going to be like a kind of who's for real, whose improvement is for real. Bill and I talked about this, and we both kind of leaned Patriots, because a lot of their improvement in run defense, it feels like, has to do with players coming back. Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, Tonga didn't even play. So I think it's going to be, it's harder. The challenge obviously is harder for Drake May, no doubt. But I am not sure this Texas offense matches up particularly well with New England right now. And that makes me worried about this game.
That's the hardest thing I had when I'm watching the Texans. I don't know what they're good at.
Inbreakers. That's it. They're good at inbreakers.
Yeah,
they're great at it.
Yeah.
And CJ, to his credit, despite being like, I don't know what the hell was going on in the last game, but then like it was like he would have like a bozo fumble, and then the next drive, like a gorgeous crosser, like tight coverage. They're really good at that. They're really good, but without Collins, it's harder.
You and I talked about that on your show, how like it was high highs and low and uncharacteristic lows, which should give Texans fans some like encouragement. Like, no, he's not going to drop the ball 5 times in this game, but you also aren't going against a team that struggles offensively nearly as much as they did against the Steelers. But we'll see how this one goes. I think I absolutely just love watching the Texans play. Yeah, I really want a Texans-Seahawks Super Bowl. That would be so fun. What?
Come on, man.
What do you mean, come on, man? That's fun.
Domonique and I went on like a long, like, whose offense do you trust more, Seattle or Houston? I think it's a really difficult question.
It is a tough question.
But they are truly like twin flames this year. Like, it is very funny.
All right, well, appreciate you, Mina. I'm rooting for your Hawks, so you can be happy. Thank you for joining us.
Before you go, can we remind the audience that we have a live show the Thursday of Super Bowl week in San Francisco? The details will be in the description of this episode. And Mina is going to be joining us along with Marcus Spears and Kevin Clark for different segments. And you should buy tickets. Proceeds go to the Special Olympics. And Domonique is super excited. You can see it on his face right now.
Thrilled. I actually am excited. I like doing a live show. I like people who pre-like me. I don't like people who I got.
You like people who pre-like you.
They already like me. If they came to the show, they love me. I love those people.
True.
They're awesome.
Live shows they definitely are good for the confidence, because it's like, oh, everyone's nice.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, before I let you go, Mina, you said everyone's nice. It reminded me that, I don't know if you touched on this on your show, but like, you got an awesome comment, and it made me happy too, right?
I got the rare Domonique, like, pleased with a piece of feedback reaction. Somebody wrote like a nice comment, and I sent it to him. I'm gonna read.
I was thrilled. Yeah, it was nice.
I find that YouTube comments are better than any other platform, which maybe sounds insane. I don't know. That's just my
Your
experience.
YouTube, your YouTube me.
Oh, they hate Charlie and our YouTube.
Yeah.
This is what Luna Lastrega said. This show, it's about Domonique in our pod. Work was so silly today, and I am very thankful for the quiet moments where I can listen to this show and relax.
That's great.
You're
right?
both
That's so sweet.
appreciaed.
We're appreciated. See you, Mina. Enjoy
Everybody
the
who's
weekend,
watching this, leave nice comments about Charlie so that he
And Domonique.
buddy. Yeah, nah, I don't need him.
say no,
Mm-mm,
just Charlie, so that he can appreciate what I said about YouTube comments. All right, I'll see you guys next
Bye,
week.
Mina. It's Chicago, my friend. We got the Hall of Famer in the building. What's up, Jason Goff? Chicago, man.
Hey,
What's
listen,
the
you know
deal?
what's so funny? And shout out to DJ Ferris for the people who don't know that reference. I talked about it on my pod. Like, if people just yell things and get to finding the actual genesis of them, I love it, though. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's always a good time to be in the city, but when the Bears are winning, it's a different vibe. The cold don't feel as cold. You know what I mean? The parking tickets don't feel as ominous. You know what I mean? The $3 Hennessy nights at the President's Lounge is popping. Like, everybody's feeling good about themselves. And yeah, man. Hey, there's only one quarterback in the NFC that I am for sure is better than the guy that's rocking with the Bears right now. So that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
Sam Darnold?
You're funny.
That's
funny.
good. That's a joke. That was a joke. That was a
You
joke.
don't have
I'm
to
not
say
taking
it's a
any
joke,
barbs from Commanders fans right now. I'm right. That's just not the vibe.
What's
I'm
the
on.
deal with that? By the way, there's like, have you
remember
seen?
when you clearly had the best quarterback in that draft? You remember that?
Yeah. Now he's an incomplete. He's a not applicable in the
Don't
assessment.
start Charlie though, because he'll get on this hating thing.
No.
Where it's like, but
Yeah.
hey, next thing you know, somebody could snap an ankle and it could be it all crash down on you. Like Charlie's
No,
the dude
no,
that
no,
shows
no.
up at the wedding, like, hey man, congratulations, but hey, you never know, she might take you for
50%,
half.
50% in the divorce, baby.
No. Let's be very clear about this.
No, hold on.
We're joking.
What
on
I
you,
don't
Charlie.
like,
Yeah.
what I don't like about Charlie is that when he tried to 8 Mile us, as soon as we want to roast him, be like, we suck. I hate it here. We're the worst. Like, that's not fun.
Nah.
You better
Sit back and
defend
take
your
these
man.
jokes, player. Yeah.
Take these lumps and defend. Because I know deep in your heart, you really think that Jaden's the best. And when he gets healthy, they're going to beat everybody.
When he gets healthy. Yep. He will.
Listen to it. You hear that in the back? That's like residual wizard / bullets build up. Like there's a whole bunch of things.
Don't-
there.
We're in a bad way, man.
Don't get me started on the Wizards bullets. No. I mean, look.
Look. This time last year, Charlie was running down
He was
Jaden Daniels
on
and his
it.
mom to tell them, you changed my life. Now he's a Levy fan. You should see the text I get from this man. He loved Levy now. He try to be.
I call
all-
Caleb Leb.
Oh yeah. No one knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, you didn't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh no, it's all variations of Leb.
The Lebster.
Lebster, Levy, Lev.
Hey man, you call it whatever you want. And on top of it, like, it's cool to have young quarterbacks who are ascending, right? Like you know what Jaden Daniels can
It was.
be. It was, right? You know what Drake May is, but hey man, I love the fact that no matter what, completion percentage, all this stuff that everybody's talking about the dude, like there's cats who won't make the play in the big moment. There's cats that you hope will make the play in the big moment. All I've seen, even when they lost 10 in a row last year, was a dude who was making the plays in the moment. So hey man,
Nice, man.
enjoy yourselves. You know, I'm not jealous of other teams anymore.
I told Domonique I think that Caleb Williams is the best arm I've ever seen. Like that, dead serious. I don't even think it's hyperbole. I really.
See, I'm an '80s baby, right? And
Elway.
and Elway, Marino, what Aaron Rodgers was doing at the pinnacle, like at the top of his top premium performance. Caleb is ridiculous. Like that 4th and 8, bro. Like that's ridiculous stuff that when you saw all those highlight films at USC where it's like, dude, you're not going to be playing out of schedule, off schedule all the time. I want to see him throw the ball in the pocket. Cool. But when it's time for dudes to line up and say, can you make that one? Yeah, it's only a handful of cats, man. It's only a handful of dudes.
And on Sunday, That was the list. I think we said it was Marino, Elway, and Rodgers for the other three.
I think the Elway comp is. I mentioned it before. Halfway through the season, I tried to tag it back on him again. Like that Elway comp is there. Like you go back and watch John Elway before the Maha Salute and Terrell Davis and all them cats. Yeah. Man, dude, John Elway was out there slinging it and having to do it with all the anonymity of playing in Denver at the time too, right? He wasn't in the biggest of markets. He was usually in that 3:15 NBC game, or the second game where a lot of people didn't see sometimes. Like John Elway and Caleb Williams, I think have a lot in common, and that confidence too. Like John Elway was always smiling and he always felt like he was upbeat, but he was confident as hell. There's certain things and ways that Caleb Williams moved where you know that the confident dude is into the room and all.
Elway didn't have to play in that time zone. He could have came and saved the Colts in Baltimore, but he was like, "No, I'm good.
No, thanks.
I'll play baseball."
Yeah, he Dante Moore that day. No, thank you.
I don't even know where to start on this particular topic, because I just want to
brought up Dante Moore, and I was like, "That's an interesting conversation of its own."
Yeah, that was rough.
He might not start next year for Oregon. That's just the craziest thing ever.
I don't know where to start. I just wanted to bask in the joy of Chicago. And you when people were getting cold on Caleb, you stayed positive, and now are you welcoming the Chicago haters back on, or are you shunning them?
See, this is the thing, because I was also on the, hey man, just let Justin Fields cook for a little bit and build up the defense. Like, hey, listen, you know your partner who catches one and you talk behind his back like, ooh boy, he outkicked his coverage on this one, but you let him style, right? You let him pop up at all the events, you let him and you never know, it may crash and burn. He may do something stupid because he ain't never had a bad one, but yeah, just let us walk around real quick. You know what I mean? Let us bring it to the function. All right,
what's the addition to the Bills, the addition to the Bears that you think you guys love the most? Like it's only two possible answers.
Just to give him the ultimatum.
Yeah. You gotta keep one. You're walking, and at the fork in the road, one side is the Lepster and the other side is Ben Johnson. Who do you love more? Who do you think Chicago loves more?
I think Ben Johnson is probably loved a little bit more than Caleb Williams because of all the things that people didn't think he was going to be. Like, people still wiping some of that crust. Like, don't get it twisted. That Green Bay game had, I screenshot a lot of Bears fans, and people in the stadium were taking pictures of Tyson Bagent saying, hey, maybe this guy can get the offense started. Yeah, no. I kid you not. I'm going to send it to you after the show's done because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy. So, and I'm not saying that is the overriding sentiment about Caleb Williams. Like, the city has been overjoyed about what this team has done this year. But, Caleb, and the slow start sometimes on offense, and there's still a whole bunch of dudes who still worrying about painted nails and all this other crap. Ben Johnson has that feel to him where I think the revelation this year for a lot of people around the NFL and this fan base was he isn't some wunderkind, some boy genius. Like, this is a true football psycho who just happens to be really good at play calling as well, right? Like the handshake and all this stuff.
He's a rip your shirt off. Yeah. And y'all like he's a squat on the handshake, smile in your face type of because that the word on Ben Johnson before you guys got him was that he was more like that, like he wasn't a people person. Mm-hmm. Like that was a knock on him, like he was a film room guy that wasn't gonna relate necessarily, but
it makes a lot of sense. He worked for Dan Campbell,
right? But it makes sense that he is that version of person deep underneath it all. But Ben Johnson, I think he surprised people probably more than Caleb has in his general demeanor and personality.
And I think Caleb, I think both of them in different ways.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think both of them in different ways. I think that I think that the perception of Caleb has changed a lot too, and the way that his competitiveness has come out versus like the perception of like arrogance and stuff. And I was telling Jason, I was telling Domonique before the show that I'm reading American Kings, the Seth Wickersham book now, and the stuff about Caleb I actually think is incredibly interesting because he comes off very Kobe-like. personality wise. It's starting from his pro day stuff, and I mean this in like,
yeah, this is when Charlie is talking about he's very Kobe like, I'll say that it is meant to be an honest assessment. Yeah. It's not a compliment. Right. It's not an insult. It's just of the people that you know, of the athletes that we feel like we know pretty well, is the only person that you think has this combination of traits. Yeah,
which is both he's like incredibly socially aware and unaware of certain things, and incredibly confident in that he is like top dog and all of this stuff. And when you talk about maybe his underactive amygdala, where he doesn't feel fear in fourth quarters and delivers time and time again, it is Kobe like. I don't know. I just find him to be like a really, really interesting, compelling character in the NFL, and obviously his style of play, like the aesthetic and the delta between his like base level and his top level is as extreme as it gets, and it makes it like the Bears are the most fun team to watch in the NFC, in my opinion.
This is just a reminder to me that one thing matters above all other things is production. Yeah. You drop that big production in the middle, then we talk about all these other things that are annoying in a different light. Right. You take that out, and then all that other stuff that you thought was annoying before suddenly becomes really, really annoying again and upset.
Yeah, if you can't win and nobody wants to rock with you, and you are a jerk, and you are the person who, like you mentioned, are socially unaware and or at all time, like it's kind of like Rajon Rondo, where any locker room that Rondo was in, you're gonna find out the truth. You're going to find out like who can play with him, who is an idiot, who should be respected, who shouldn't be respected. I remember when he was here and he had that weird 3 alphas thing where it was Dwayne Wade
was so funny.
Jimmy Butler and Rajon Rondo. And Rondo was on the young player side. He's like, hey, man, y'all being jerks for no reason and y'all ain't me. Like, that's the way Caleb Williams, I think, would have trended towards if maybe Matt Eberflus had stayed the coach for another year, or they made the wrong coaching hire. It just goes to show, and you guys talk about this all the time, organizationally, how important fits are. And if you got a guy who wants to be coach but doesn't respect the coach, then it ain't gonna work. And if you got a coach who's like, I don't give a who you are, I'm gonna do what I do, and on top of it, we'll go get another one of you if this one don't work out. Like there's a perfect meshing and meeting at this fork in the road where it's time to turn up, and this is their first go at it. Like this is their first year doing this together. Now next year, injuries happen, things happen, but at least you know where the baseline is, where you've got the two most important positions in a building. And for the first time in my 45 years of being a fan, those two positions I feel confident in. Like, it's not just, maybe Kyle Orton, eke out a game, or can't wait till Rex gets back off of injury, or watching other Cade McNowns of the world and all these other dudes where you didn't know about the coach and you damn sure didn't know about the quarterback. It's fun to know about both those guys, and it's fun to have both of those guys be uber confident, because you ain't got to do too much talking, because you setting the tone with your presence. If you get beat being the confident guy. But if you win, it's like, hey, you should have believed in me all along.
How confident are the rest of you guys? Well, I guess the question generally, we'll get into some of the game breakdown in a second, but like this season is already, I think, gone past the expectations. So y'all, this is a gravy game for y'all. Or
you're a liar. You're a liar. He closed his eyes. He's seeing a Lombardi trophy. If you haven't, I don't believe you, because I did it last year. Don't lie to us, Jason.
Charlie, you got to understand something. Like I mentioned, back to the metaphor. When you run out of bread, it's time for her to go to somebody else, dog. Like the Bears may have run out of bread. Like T.J. Edwards had that horrific looking.
That's possible, but that don't mean you any less sad.
Just because like you asked me this beforehand, deep down I see 2027. Yeah. Jaden Daniels holding a Lombardi trophy. So like I know deep down you see it this year.
You're a couple of games away.
It'd be amazing, but like I know a bunch of Bears fans are like, hey, this is gravy. You got out the wild card round, you won a home playoff game. Like, hey, you gotta build, man. Like I am all gravy with this season as it is. I feel like they may have a chance to win. They do have a chance to win on Sunday. But after that, we talking about going to Seattle maybe, and then having to face, one of those crazy, three teams on the AFC side. Like, the last time I felt really good about the Bears winning the Super Bowl was when Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff in the Super Bowl. And then after that, the Colts made sweet love to the team that I enjoy watching. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not that guy just as yet. I'm happy so far with this season and building from here.
It wasn't sweet.
It was nasty. It was nasty.
So you do.
It was bad. It was bad.
Do you think? All right, I'll get away from the Super Bowl stuff, but this particular game, like the Rams are gettable. Everybody's gettable this year in the playoffs. The Rams are very gettable. I mean, I guess the weather to your advantage because they're a California team, but Matt Stafford actually pretty good in the cold weather because he got the arm strength to rip through it. But we saw the Rams defense struggle. Like they probably should have lost.
They should have lost.
Y'all would have been so happy,
oh my
huh?
God, what?
Oh.
We got Bryce Young coming here? Kidding me? You know, fit him for his Best Buy shirt. Just tell me Bryce Young don't look like he work at Best Buy. Tell me he don't look like he about to help you with the top of the line phone. He is a terrific young man. Don't get it twisted, but he's tiny.
Oh, he's a terrific young man, Tim.
He's tiny, you know, and they had a lead with $1:41 left. Like, you know, I'm thinking, man, we about to avenge the loss to the Panthers back in the day.
It's not that he looks like he work at Best Buy. You know what he looks like to me? He looks like the kid on the cover of the private school brochure.
Ooh. Yes.
That's what he looked like.
Yes.
That's what he looked like.
Yes.
When you take your kids on a visit to one of these schools, there's one kid that they bring down and they want him to talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that kid be nailed.
Oh yeah.
That kid is got it buttoned up. He just smooth enough. He got a part-time job. That kid is so talented. That kid got all A's. He got pre-accepted into an Ivy League school. Yeah. They want you to look at that. His hair a little longer because he a little cool. Yeah. He not completely clean. Right. They want you to look at that kid and be like, man, if I send my kid here, he gonna be like Bryce. He on the football team. He can play. Yeah, he tough.
His real name is Brashawn. By the way, they just call him. They call him Bryce, right?
Yeah.
And you walk away like, man, I was so happy to come into contact with that strategically placed Negro that we just met.
They do that for it's not just if you on the visit. This is probably more accurate. If they are trying to do some fundraising, they're like, yeah, we got this young brother on scholarship.
He played all the sports.
You want to contribute?
He played all water polo, volleyball, basketball, football. Like Bryce Young is a Jack and Jill graduate.
It's not any private school though. It's a private school with a uniform. It's not one. Sure. It's definitely a private school that requires a tie. He gonna show up in that tie, and Bryce gonna wow you.
But they let him wear Jordans though. They let him wear Jordans.
Oh yeah. Of course.
He got
on khakis and jeans.
He ain't got a hard bottom.
Yeah, he got on khakis and jeans.
Shout out to Bryce Young.
That concludes our game announcement. I'm just joking.
They should have lost that damn game. They should have lost that game to the Rams.
That's where we started.
Yeah,
that's right.
They should have lost that game to the. You know what I'm worried about?
Well, to be fair, the Bears should have lost to the.
Hey, no, they should have
lost to the Packers.
What you talking about, Charlie? We had it right when we won.
Down 18 at half.
What you talking about? You mean the Iceman came through? Although. You know, with Drake's pending release and of course the social climate, I don't know if the Iceman is the greatest nickname to have right now. But man, I don't know how many Bears fans were sitting there like mad, of course, but also like, hey, we seeing this team be down 2 scores. Like it started in Dallas, against Dallas in week 3, where it's like, hey, they not supposed to win this game, and then they did it 5 or 6 more times throughout the seseason.
Yeah,
I'm just worried though.
Against us,
and I'm just worried at some point they don't get the requisite pressure on the quarterback that's necessary. They beat to hell on the defensive side. And Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, man. I like the Bears corners.
That's the scary part.
But I like the Bears corners, but you know, Jalen Johnson, for Bears fans, he hasn't been moving the way that he did pre-adductor injury. CJGJ is fun, but you know, he's going to be out probably. Like Kyler Gordon hasn't played much football this year. So there's some issues. The left tackle, Ozzie Trapillo, got hurt. So there's some issues, but you know, this is why you have the number 1 pick at that position, because you're supposed to throw everything on his back and say, go win a game like Josh Allen did against the Jaguars, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's all of those things are true, and obviously Benedette's in for Trapilla because he had the it was the patella. It's a serious injury. He might miss part of next year too. But Domonique, I would ask you about this. What do you think is more significant on it? The way that Caleb is going to be facing this the Rams pass rush, and the edges that are going to keep him maybe more contained than he has in past. We know that throwing on the run, he's probably the best in the league at doing that right now. Or the way that the Rams are particularly good at attacking linebackers, getting Puka on a linebacker, playing a lot of 13 personnel with the tight ends, and we saw that even with their game-winning touchdown.
I'd be much more concerned if I was a Bears fan, I'd be much more concerned with getting a stop. Right. How we gonna get a stop? How we gonna get multiple stops? Like the the Caleb offense stuff. I think the story on Caleb is he can only operate outside of structure, which I think is not true. That's an inaccurate story. So and this team runs the ball incredibly well. I think all those things will come together and this offense will have the ability to have a good game at some point. Like, I think that's a realistic possibility. I'm not concerned. Like, Caleb's shown that it doesn't necessarily matter who's on the other side. He's going to be able to make those magic plays happen. I don't think, despite how athletic Byron Young and Jared Verse are, I don't think that they're going to eliminate that part of Caleb's game. I think they can have a good game, which, I don't know, 20 points, 20-something, 25 points, something in there, something below 30, but like they could do that. The scary part for me, if I'm going into this thing from Bears' perspective, is you got a chance that you may not be able to get any stops. And that defense is really vulnerable, and we know that they actually showed up pretty well last week in the second half, but the first half, they didn't get one stop the whole first half. And then the second half, of course, the Packers called the game differently. The run game, they stopped the run game, and then it just felt like then when they needed to get a stop at the end, they were able to get it. But that's a different question, I think, with McVay and this Rams team. I don't think they're going to turn it off. They have a quarterback that they trust. I don't think they're going to turn off the faucet. They know about the Bears' ability to come back. We're going to see how many stops the Bears can get. To me, will decide the game.
Yeah, the way that
Stafford to give it to you, though. Stafford to throw it at you.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing that I worry about. I worry that this is one of those games where he may not have to do it too much. Sean McVay's entire success has been built off of handing that thing off. Really, if you look at the base structure of all his successful teams, like Todd Gurley was the man. And then Todd Gurley, short-lived career, but you talk about a terrific talent. What they have in Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, can you stop their running game? And do they want to stop their running? Like, if they're not getting the chunk plays, does he stop running the football and say, hey, Matt, bail us out? If they run the football with any efficiency at all, then I think this is going to be a long day. The Bears do not get off the field the way, like you mentioned, the way that you would think a team vying for the NFC Championship and a team in the divisional round should. So it's about the run game. Tremaine Edmonds, DeMarco Jackson, who is filling in for TJ Edwards, who had an 18-tackle game early on in the season. Like, this is a dude who could play a little bit, but it's a young linebacker. So are they going to be trying to manipulate his eyes? Andrew Billings, right? Big Bill, number 97 in the middle. This dude is an old school, like, two-gapper. But when he's on the field, that defense is a lot less athletic. So it's going to be a chess match between Dennis Allen and Sean McVay, and I worry that Dennis Allen doesn't have the requisite pieces to keep up with whatever they throw out there. Three wides, the Packers were able to run the football with three wide receiver sets because Tucker Kraft wasn't out there, and for whatever reason, they went away from it. And when they started to change to a lot of that 12 personnel, I think Josh Jacobs had 6 carries for 40 yards to start the game. He ended the game with 55 yards, right? So it's if one of these play callers, whether it be Matt LaFleur, who has been vanquished, or Sean McVay, wants to keep banging up against that wall to kind of break one of those things. And I think in bad weather, we'll see what his what his scheme does. But I'm worried the Bears won't be able to get off the field as efficiently as they need to.
Yeah, I think y'all gonna have to get more possessions than them. You're gonna have to steal a possession some way. If it's a fake punt,
right.
If it's a trick play, obviously onside kicks don't really work anymore. Which like that onside kicks are probably near and dear to a Chicago fan's heart. But
it ain't gonna be no fake punt though. It ain't gonna be.
Yeah.
Check the last time the Bears had a fake punt. I think they're the last team to have done it. Like I think they're 20. It's going on. Close to a decade, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what that means, right?
Fake punt.
They do for a fake punt. So I mean, I'm sure that they got one in the playbook. They're gonna call it. I don't know if it's some sort of trick plays. Like they when it's fourth down, y'all got to be going for it. I don't really know where you got to steal possessions. You got to find a way that when it's time to punt, you don't punt, and find some way to create an interception, create a turnover, strip the ball, because I think that's your defense. You can't rely on your defense.
This is how Cinderella teams talk about things in the tournament. It was like, hey, man, our best guy going to have to go for 40.
The thing is, I would like to say if you guys keep it close. That's the thing that's exciting about your team. It's close for you is 2 scores in the fourth quarter.
It's weird.
So like,
it's weird.
If you within 2 touchdowns, you close.
You brought up the March Madness thing with the Cinderella. There's an aspect of that. That's the way that Ben Johnson's coaching. If we're actually going by the numbers of it, where because he wants to have high variance with some of this stuff, and you can see him with taking the training wheels off the quarterback and being like, oh, we have someone who's incredibly proficient at hitting deep shots and explosive plays. We can lean more into that with fewer possessions, and that can lead to like a variety of different results, which plays into our hand, which I think is actually like an interesting strategy. And I think if you're looking at the way these games have been coached, it's clearly something he's leaning into.
That's all he wants, though. He only wants chunk plays. Like, he's been asked about the tush push, and he's like, hey, you can't score on that. Like, he only wants plays that he can score on.
I respect
which, sometimes you get yourself a wildcat snap through the legs of a tight end to Kyle Monungai, who's 5'7", that goes over his head and is 4 for 20. But yeah, hey, that's why the whole completion percentage thing too. Like, he don't care. He don't care if Caleb has a 16 for 30 day. Guess what? Put up 250 and get 2 touchdowns. We all right out here.
Yeah.
How do you think it plays into the Bears' hands or against them that the Rams' defense in certain ways can look like a pass funnel, though? Because those cornerbacks are attackable, particularly Emmanuel Forbes, my buddy, he's acquitted himself quite well this year, but it's still obviously a weakness for this with Rams defense that doesn't really have like a full level weakness. It's a pass funnel, and what's emerging with Colston Loveland is like one of the best pass catchers in the NFL.
That's the best play on the field on Saturday.
He looks freakish.
Best play on the field on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it comes down to can they protect, and I think there'll be opportunities for them to make plays. We saw it last week. The Rams defense, I think, or the Rams in general, have not lived up to, I think, the hype that we have given them all season long. It's like they drop games to teams that they should beat. Many times they had a close game, which is the playoffs. These games are going to be close, but I think they've had close games or last week against the Panthers, which is a team that backed into the playoffs, and you could argue probably shouldn't even been there. So, like, yeah, it's an opportunity to get it done. We saw what happened when they got out to a fast start. That's the thing about this matchup is I think the Bears are going to feel comfortable no matter. When I think about so many of these other games, it's like, well, they better not get down early. It's over.
Right.
I don't feel like that if I'm talking about the Rams. Like, the Rams get up early, it ain't over. If I'm talking about the Bears, if the Bears get down early, it ain't over. So, like, this game is going to get down to the fourth quarter, and it's going to be close if it's a 2-score game either way. So, like, I'm looking forward to the finish of this game. The one other thing I would point out from a more, like, concrete strategic standpoint is the red zone is going to matter so much, or if they can hold them to field goals. And that's the question. If it's going to be windy enough that's where the Chicago part of this might be a drawback for the Bears. It's like, if I'm the Bears, please don't have anything that would deter you from going ahead and kick this field goal, because I want you to kick as many as possible, because I'm going for it. On 4th and 8, we're going for it. I'm going for it. And you create the high variance. You might pull away from us, but we also might close the gap.
Hey, Ben.
I don't know. That's the way I would approach it.
Fair weather is one of, like, there's a lot of things that we see when there's nationally spotlighted games where it's like, hey, let's get a shot of the bean and maybe some deep dish pizza and a hot dog with everything in the cabinet on it. Like, this is what Chicago is. Bear weather is one of those misnomers where it's like, Bears been getting their beat and cold. They been getting beat when it's warm in my lifetime. Like that whole bear weather thing. Like tell Tom Brady about playing in the cold and what it should do to a passing game. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got one of them, that's the other thing. That's why it's so dope to have Caleb Williams, because you got a dude who's going to cut through the wind. You got a cat who's going to make some plays, no matter what the weather is. But like you mentioned, they're going to go for it on fourth. I think they were 1 for their first 5 on fourth down conversions against the Packers. So they're going for it. You can't kick field goals in the red zone, which is what they did against the Packers in the early going of that game. You can't expect these kind of performances, but they just keep happening. And I think Sean McVay and the Rams, like it happening the week before you play a team that knows it can happen to them, everybody should be on notice. Like the Packers came in with an incredible amount of hubris. Dudes was talking crazy as if they had run off 17 straight division championships and a whole bunch of goofy shit. But like in the end, the Rams, I don't think are going to approach this game the way that the Packers did, where I think at the last scoring drive in the first half, there was a producer shot cut to Jordan Love smiling. And I looked over to my wife and I go, he think it's over. Right? I don't think Sean McVay is going to allow that. And I know Matt Stafford, who's had success sometimes at Soldier Field, is going to go into this thing thinking that if they up 21-3 or if they're up 24-10, that at any way this game is going to be over. So it's going to be a different dynamic, I think, this weekend.
Last question. Do we get another power shake from Ben Johnson at the end of the game, win or lose?
I think he's I don't know that this is the truth, but I think he has a different relationship with Sean McVay than he does with Matt LaFleur. He was talking crazy about Matt LaFleur at the press conference. Like he
and nobody seems to know why.
Listen, man, I think there's I think there's some things that happen amongst these types that maybe in the weeds, sometimes things, you go to Indianapolis.
I'm gonna find out after.
You go to the combine.
I'm gonna find out after the show.
You go to, you know what I mean? Things you walk past somebody and they don't get small in the hallway, that kind of thing. Yeah. But I don't think Sean McVay and he have that kind of relationship, and Sean is still lifting too. That's the other thing. Like you do certain things, people you can do that too.
He looked at LaFleur and was like, I got something for them eyebrows.
You know the funniest thing about. Hold on, Domonique has said to me.
He said, "I'm gonna lump them things up. Yeah, you can't shape them up and fight too. Like those things don't go hand in hand."
No. This is Domonique has told me a maxim that he has, that he'll work with as long as deep down he knows he can beat their.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's it.
For sure.
It. Like I can't be around you if I feel like if you're and you a threat. Yeah. It's one of it's
a hilarious life rule that someone like I never even considered, because I've never thought of me beating anyone.
Because at some point they're gonna press a button and you're gonna be like, all right, now I gotta take it there.
And I've never had to do it, and I've never really put words to it before, but I recognize that about myself. It's like I'm not the biggest and strongest guy, but I'm an athlete. Like I think 50% chance. Like I'm on the positive side. I can whoop most people, and I just need to feel like if somebody is if this escalates to that level, am I comfortable? If I ever look at somebody and be like, this is getting a little bit, and I don't know if I'm ready for this, then we can't work together. We can't spend no time together because I'd be consumed with where's my nearest weapon.
Exactly.
Just in case.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it to get there.
I can't focus. If I thought Charlie could whoop my and Charlie was like Charlie's neither, so it's no problem. He's not I think I can handle my own if it comes down to the come down. we can end on the positive note. You look fantastic. Fly jacket. Make me want to go shopping real soon. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
the
you.
Hall of Famer.
Always.
Jason Goff. Go check him out. Full go. We out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.